They'll sign that warrant, and then we will inform the subject and do a blood draw. Our goal of this program is just to make the roadways as safe as possible. So far this year, there's been 68 fatal accidents in Austin, and many times that many serious injury accidents. Those things are avoidable and preventable. We can all agree that the roadways are safer when people are not driving impaired. We realize that Austin is a fun and vibrant community. We have events, we have ACL and South by Southwest, football games, soccer games. We want people to get out and enjoy the community, but we want to make sure that they have a plan and have a safe ride home. So with our partners with Austin Transportation, we'll talk about some of those other options.
Thank you, Detective, and good morning, everyone. I'm Richard Mendoza, Director of Transportation and Public Works, and we really appreciate the partnership with Austin Police Department to assist our department as we lead our community towards our Vision Zero goals. And so Vision Zero is our aspiration to achieve zero fatalities and serious injuries on our roadway network. And it takes a partnership to do this. It takes awareness by our community, and it takes programs such as this to hold those individuals that choose to drive impaired accountable. And so while TPW, Transportation Public Works, works to improve the safety of transportation infrastructure across the city, we understand that traffic enforcement plays a critical role in ensuring that dangerous drivers are indeed held responsible. This past summer, APD and TPW expanded the No Refusal Initiative to be in effect every night of the week. And this, of course, led to an increase in the number of No Refusal DWIs over the summer. And we're looking forward to continuing this expanded partnership into this new fiscal year. So whether you're heading home from a UT football game or enjoying a night out with friends, plan ahead and designate a sober driver, use ride-sharing services, or take advantage of public transportation options. By choosing a safe ride home, you're not only protecting yourself, but also your loved ones and our fellow Austinites. So please join Vision Zero's commitment and help create a community where every journey ends safely. Plan a car-free ride if possible. There are a number of different options, from bike shares to electric scooter programs, utilizing Cap Metro, our public transit service, as well as taxis and ride shares. Cap Metro's night owl buses actually run from midnight to 3 a.m., Monday through Saturday, connecting popular late-night destinations with neighborhoods every 20 to 30 minutes. The University of Texas and Austin Community College students can ride free with a valid ID. Others pay only $1.25 per ride. And so again, expansion of this No Refusal Initiative is another tool to help us achieve our city's Vision Zero goal to reduce people getting hurt and killed by crashes to zero. So I cannot stress enough, if you're too impaired to drive home, please use a taxi cab, rideshare service to get home safe, or an alternative mode. After all, you don't want to ruin your good time by crashing or going to jail for driving while impaired. Thank you.
Any other questions? Have y'all ever had a year-round no refusal in the past?
No, this will be the first time that we're opening it up for the complete year. This summer was the first time that we did an extended period where we were doing it every day. Previously, we've done just weekends. Started out with doing just major holidays like 4th of July and Memorial Day, those type of things. We expanded it to do weekends, and then this summer, the every day. And every time that we've done it, I think that we've found some value in not only trying to get the message out to people and try to discourage them from just drinking and driving in general, but then also on the prosecution side, that we want people to know if they are drinking and driving and they do get arrested, we're going to gather the best evidence that we can so that those cases are prosecuted and handled correctly. As just another deterrent. Our goal, we would love that nobody drinks and drives ever, and that I didn't have to be up here, we didn't have to be taking people's blood. But one of the ways that we're going to try to achieve that is by making sure that we have good cases to prosecute.
On any given day or night, that obviously there isn't no refusal. How many people, percentage-wise, how many people would you say do refuse?
So it's always an individual choice. I can't tell you. Over a large period, I'd say probably about 40% of the people are refusing, and so with this initiative, we're able to capture the evidence on those cases.
Detective, do you partner with bars at all? How do you make sure that they're also not over-serving people, or how are they making sure that people know that there are other options to get home?
So we don't specifically partner with bars through my unit. There are other entities that go out and talk to bars with different things. TABC is heavily involved with the bartender training. In the cases that we do have fatal accidents, part of that investigation is finding out where the people came from, where they were drinking at, and then TABC can go and pull up the records from that bar, the videos, the receipts, and try to hold them accountable that way, and also provide the additional education, because bars are a huge part of it, right? We don't want them to overserve people, but they're also not the ones responsible for what people choose to do after they leave. And I think through these media messages, I hope the general population is aware of all the different options. The options have gone up so much more from what it was when I started as an officer, and we only had taxi cabs, and there was not enough taxi cabs to take everybody home. But now with the advent of all the ride shares, you can get a car there in a matter of a couple minutes. And so there is really no excuse for people getting behind the wheel and driving after they've had too much to drink. There's so many options these days.
Detective, I'm assuming you'll work with judges to ensure that you can get these warrants.
Yes, ma'am. The only way that this initiative is possible, it is all by a warrant signed by a judge. So there is an Austin Municipal Court judge that is at the jail 24 hours a day, working on getting people processed and released from jail for a variety of cases. And so we are able to see those judges. We do have to present probable cause, tell them, make sure that we meet all the elements of the offense. It's not just a rubber stamp. All the cases are reviewed and approved, and the judge will only sign it if they believe that we've met the elements of the offense.
What did Kate say under the museum?
Detective, any plans to reinstate the DWI unit, and if so, how would that work?
I would love to reinstate the DWI unit, and it's definitely one of our goals. Unfortunately, with the staffing issues that we have to figure out where to get those bodies from. Hopefully, I believe that this is the first year in about 6 years that we have had a positive growth. The previous 6 years, we've had less officers at the end of the year than the beginning of the year. Our recruiting department is working very hard to try to get people in the door and through the recruiting thing. I think this year will be the first year that we actually grow, but it's just going to be by a few officers. So we really need to get people in the door, get new officers coming through to restaff patrol, so that we can start getting back to some of our proactive policing efforts.
Melody?
Yes, I have two questions. So the first one is, what are the specific charges that are alleged in a person if a person refuses? Did I say right?
So the offenses that we're talking about is anything that involves impaired driving. So DWI with a child passenger, intoxication assault, which is a DWI where somebody is seriously injured, or intoxication manslaughter, a DWI where somebody is a fatality collision. So it all involves driving while being impaired, whether it be on alcohol or drugs.
Okay, and my second question is, this is going to be a program for the whole year, 24/7?
So it will only happen during the nighttime hours. So unfortunately, we don't have the resources to cover all day, but it's going to cover about 70% of all of our DWI arrests.
about resources. Is this more or less work for y'all to have this no refusal?
So it is more work. What the process looks like is that we're able to staff one DWI expert to be down at the jail and help officers process their DWIs. So even on cases where somebody is going to consent and provide a sample willingly, this no refusal person is able to help the officers walk through those cases, help try and collect the evidence, and make the process faster. On the cases where people are refusing, then that DWI expert will help write the warrant and bring it to the judge, see if the judge will sign off on that, and then inform the arrested person that the warrant's been signed and what that means.
That expert, is that a new position, or you'll always have that person there?
So no, these people are going to be the ones that we task with handling our more high-profile DWI cases. So initially, when our DWI unit was put back on patrol, these were the people that we were talking about. So they still had the expertise in DWI, and we send them all to additional training for being a drug recognition expert, which is the highest training that we have in the DWI world. And we keep those people on an auxiliary team to handle any of the fatality collisions. And so those are our experts. They help train the new officers. And so those are the ones that we utilize down at the jail through this overtime initiative.
Okay, overtime initiative.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have any other questions? Anything from Mr. Mendoza?
Is there any sort of financial incentive for APD to have this no refusal initiative?
No, no, I mean, no, there's not.
Okay.
Good. Awesome. Thanks, y'all. We appreciate you so much.